this episode, we're gonna do something that's never happened before. I've got real estate that doesn't have a house on it.
Are you serious?
This is an REO opportunity that brings us to the heart of Corona, Queens. This episode is about land, and that's a different type of real estate, which may be your perfect opportunity for a development. So today we've got some land to look at, and there's so much land in the world that we don't always know what exactly we can do with it. So I brought in a local guy who's got knowledge in the matter to help us out with just that.
We're taking a look at a property at 3425 106th Street in Corona, Queens.
Stefano, how's it going?
Hey Anthony, good, how are you?
Yeah, good. Listen, I've been going around the neighborhood. We're in Corona, and I got this piece of land right down the block.
Okay.
There's nothing on it. So I heard you're the guy who knows how to put stuff there.
Fantastic, let's take a look at it and we'll see what we can do.
All right, well, here she is. So welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is it. So we have a 2,000 square foot lot. And as I was mentioning before, we're in Corona. This is R5 zoning. And tell us a little bit about zoning, because every time I've mentioned it to people, people think school. Like, am I zoned to this school? Let me know.
So a couple of things. Zoning laws are designed to help protect the neighborhood and what you can build. You always have to take in consideration your front yard, which is a great opportunity to add driveways because you know how parking is here in Queens. And you also have rear yard requirements, which allows you to have a yard or a nice family area if you need to.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about the team. Like, how do you set yourself up with the right people to get something like this, you know, erected from like a vacant land?
Right. The one thing you must take into account is a lot of moving pieces, right? So the first step is getting an architect. He has to be adverse in zoning and building code, because as the client may have a vision of what can be built, it might not be realistic what's allowed. Right. So that's the first step. The second step is having a good New York City Expediter. Has to know all the procedures on how to get the approvals, permits. There might be different agencies involved. You know, as you can see, there's trees on the lot. When you do a new building, you're gonna have to involve park department, because even though you're not planting a tree, you might have to pay to have a tree planted off-site, just to make New York City greener.
I think the most important thing is having that synergy.
Definitely, communication is key.
Everybody has their own niche, right?
Yes.
Yeah, their own focus. So now a property like this, R5 zoning, we have a large building next door, a bit smaller building next door. There's a certain height restriction too, right?
Yes, and the R5 is 40 feet.
We can pretty much look at the building's length being, what, uniform to what's already on the block?
Correct. It's typical. Yes. Gotcha. And again, what we discussed before, protecting the neighborhood, keep everything symmetry, right? You don't want everything out of place.
Clients so many times, I'm like, they ask me for a single family house in some neighborhoods. I'm like, you're not gonna find it there. They just didn't build them, you know?
Exactly.
That's it. And that's why, the zoning, right?
Yeah.
The aesthetics. So now back here is where we would be focusing on the yard, right?
Right.
So now we would have to start our property right about here.
Not necessarily. Again, you have to do a complete zoning analysis on what you build and depending on the square footage. But typically it would be around, because if you notice, this one's a little shorter than this one.
Good point. Good point. Yeah. So, and well, these are also newer than this property. Right. So would that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, 100%.
So obviously there's a lot of people who are not particularly interested in this property, but they have a property and they want to be able to build something.
Right.
And where could they go? What could they do to do their research?
There's a lot of free websites on the internet, city websites where you can find zoning.
Some of those New York City sites, I use them myself. So I'm going to do this, guys. I'm going to put down in the description below links that are going to send you to those sites, and you can play around, check out the zoning, and see what's possible. Gave a good insight as to what's possible here. And
we're glad to help. And whenever any of your people need any information or help, feel free to call me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I appreciate it.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
So thanks for taking a tour of this REO opportunity. Remember, give us a call for your own appointment, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be seeing you back in the neighborhood.